At a meeting earlier this evening, the library board considered a motion to renegotiate the contract with the city of Great Falls at a lower level of public funding. MTN's Tommy Lynch has more from the meeting.
At the Great Falls Public Library Board of Trustees meeting on Tuesday night, the topic of entering a discussion with the city regarding renegotiation of the library management agreement was breached.
There is a city agreement in place since 1993 between the City of Great Falls and the Great Falls Public Library, and it provides funding with 7 mills to the library.
It has been suggested to renegotiate the terms of the agreement now that the new library mill levy passed. While some believe the city could use the funds for other things like public safety, the library says that the mill levy amount was calculated with the 7 mills in mind.
And so they were very clear that it replaced the $350,000 of the general fund supplement, but it was in addition to the 7 mills. And so we, in good faith, went to the voters with those numbers, expecting the budget to take us from the 7 mills by agreement up to what we now have as 24 mills.
A few people were in favor of the idea, but most of the people at the board meeting were against the renegotiation, saying things like they are willing to fight tooth and nail to protect the library.
We want the public to be able to be involved. We want them to hear what both parties have to say. We want them to weigh in on what services that they'd like from their public library. I think we feel as the Public Library Board that we have a moral obligation to uphold what the voters told us in 2023, and that was that they want better services for Great Falls.
Ultimately, the board decided to form a committee for the item to research their options and report back at the March meeting, specifically not agreeing or disagreeing to a discussion.
We have some time to think about this and decide exactly what's right for the library, what's right for the voters.
The motion carried, as did an additional motion to seek outside legal counsel for the library for up to $10,000. In Great Falls, I'm Tommy Lynch, MTN News.
The VA says they are allowing any veterans exposed to toxins or other hazards in the military to enroll in VA healthcare next month, and that's years earlier than initially scheduled under the 2022 PACT Act. That act expanded coverage for veterans who experience toxic exposures like burn pits. It initially called for phasing in veterans' eligibility over time. Now anyone who served in the Vietnam War, Gulf War, or in combat zones after 9/11 can enroll directly in VA healthcare without first applying for VA benefits. Starting March 5th, those exposed to hazards while training or on duty in the U.S. will also be eligible. VA leaders say this means millions more veterans will be able to enroll up to 8 years ahead of schedule. The VA says more than 500,000 veterans have enrolled in healthcare since the PACT Act became law.